think it's probably my turn to play poker, so we'll see if we can start it off good this evening.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción, yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente, con una pasión.
Well, it is about just after 12. Been in the game for about 3.5 hours. In for 400. And I'm currently at about 570 or so, I believe. I'm having some fun, but it may have cost me some cash. I played about 40-30.
Party time.
Played about 40% of the hands pre-flop and raised about 30 of them for about 2 hours. It was roughly break even over the stretch. Never won or lost any big pots. Just won a bunch of small ones, lost a bunch of small ones. Kind of hoping to generate some action. I mean, it wasn't just complete garbage, but you know, any pocket pair, any position, suited connectors, you know, 4-5 and up, any position, suited 1 gappers, 6-8 and up, any position. It limps around to me. I believe there's 3 limpers, and I am in the big blind with King, Queen of clubs. I make it 20 to go. I get 2 callers. Both have around 300, 350, probably 350 effective at this point. Flop's pretty decent. King, Jack, Jack, rainbow with 1 diamond. I lead out small. I lead out 20. Both players call. The turn is a deuce of diamonds, bringing a backdoor flush draw. This time I lead out for 30. Middle position folds, and the late position player makes the call. And the queen is kind of a gross card. It's the queen of diamonds. So there's now a straight out there, a flush out there, both of which my opponent can have. He could also be slow playing flop boat, I guess. But I decided to give him a chance to bluff at it, especially if he thinks he could get me off a chop with the king. So I check it over to him, and he puts out a pretty sizable bet, 80 bucks. I deliberated a little bit, and as usual I go with the gambly move, and I make the call. He says 2 pair. I show my king queen. He mucks, and my hand is good. I've been moved over to another table, and I'll get back after it. Probably play 2.5, 3 more hours. Somewhere between 3 and 4 I'll leave, and hopefully we can add on some chips and maybe play a little more solid here.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción, yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente, con una pasión tan fuerte.
Hand history update. We got another interesting hand here. First, one of the few times I've gotten to get real aggressive this evening. A middle position player opens to $13. He gets a call from the cutoff, who's a short stack, and a deep stack player on the button. The hero looks down at King, Queen of hearts. Really want to play this hand, but don't like just flat calling out of position, so I put in a 3-bet. I raise it to $55. The initial raiser deliberates for about 30 seconds, then makes the flat call with about $235 behind. The cutoff calls pretty quickly. He's got about 70, 75 behind. So it's 3 ways to a flop of 3, 9, 10, a spade and 2 clubs. I got a gut shot and 2 overs, and I have the initiative. I think, you know, my goal here is just to get the big stack to fold. I think the short stack is going to put it in no matter what, and I think we're in pretty good shape against him. So I make it $90. The initial raiser, hems and haws, probably about a minute or so, and then finally lets it go. As expected, the cutoff makes the call. The turn is a glorious offsuit jack. We love that one. And the river is a blank, so we scooped the pot. And we didn't have as many outs as we thought because the initial raiser who folded said he had king, queen as well. So we'll take the result. I'll get out of here and play a little more poker. Don't you dare question my hygiene. Well, kind of a iffy start tonight, but ended up pretty good. Could have been a lot better if I'd played a little better early on. Long story short, well, we get down to 5-handed mandatory under the gun straddle. I'm on the button with pocket kings. It folds to me. I make it 20, the big blind and the straddler call. Flop comes out 9 deuce deuce. Checks to me. My friend Matt Birmingham comes to mind, and I check it back for a little pot control. The turn is the 9 of spades, bringing a backdoor flush draw. The big blind checks, and the straddler now leads out for $40. I think about it and make the call. And the river is a glorious king of diamonds. The end of the gun player now leads out for $50. He's got about 150 behind. I think about it for a bit. Hollywood, really. And grab 2 stacks and a few extra chips. Shove them over the line. He hems and haws. Says you got a boat, you're good, and gives me a call. I show him the boat, and he shows me ace deuce. Diamonds for flop trips. So nice one there. Game broke shortly after. In for 400. Out for 1,049. So up 649 today. Played for about 7.5, 8 hours.